So very good morning to everyone. Namaste to all. So Anusha starts the day with the question. Question for today, ma'am, is how to get past the bubble even after. Sorry, I couldn't read properly. Yeah. So the question for today is how to get past the bubble even after clearing the fear, trauma, belief. Why we still choose not to move ahead. How do you know, Anusha, that you clear the fear and trauma? Thank you, Pala. Anusha, I can't hear you.
Hello. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I did the trauma release through heart song. I did forgiveness, and whichever belief that came along, like love hurts and all that was there, I cleared all of that, and I wouldn't react abruptly the way I used to when certain situations would pop up. So I felt certain clearing was done
Yeah.
because I am
So,
able to accept love. Unlike before, I used to shout, completely shut or look for an excuse or run away or use some other excuse, like for example, kids or some excuse to not to be loved or wouldn't get past that excuse phase where I would just run. Now I stand in that place and I'm like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I can face, I can experience love, and I can get past this. And all those fears are my fears. It's not, it's all created by my mind, I realize, because of the past. So I feel there's a difference
Anusha, understand one thing. Where exactly is trauma stored in the body?
in our mind.
No,
Our mind creates a bubble, right? In the subconscious.
no. That is exactly the problem. Trauma is stored in our cells, and we have millions and millions and trillions of cells.
Okay.
Trauma gets stored there. It's not that, when you're bitten by a dog, your mind tells you that, oh, this dog will bite me. The minute you see the dog, there is immediately the fear within you,
Hmm.
right? And like, your body, like just when you are driving the car and just by seeing a police car following or somebody doing, they haven't done anything to you, but you
Hmm.
start sweating and the body starts reacting in the same way. And that does happen because there are multiple past traumas stored. So when we say the heart song, there are three molecules which travel life after life. Where is the trauma stored? Like once, for example, if it is something which happened to me 10,000 years back
Hmm.
in some other reality,
Hmm.
how do I remember it now? There has to be either you die along with your body, then it doesn't happen.
Hmm.
But it's a carbon based molecular structure. It's not a crystal based molecular structure. So either you burn it or you give it to vultures to eat it. So there is something which remains here. And with us, because we come up with a new body here, the trauma is stored in multiple places. Again, understand one thing. There are times when people are burnt in the past life. I've seen and witnessed the same place, they come back having a mark. So many times, I'm not saying everybody who is born with a birthmark is because of the past life, but I can say that whenever there is the birthmark, like in a particular place, it does have correlation. Yeah. So the one thing which is very clear here is that trauma is stored in multiple places. The bubble is created by the subconscious mind. You learned your basic and advanced, but there is so many layers with it that it is just very difficult to understand. Like you could understand that you are in the bubble because you have learned theta. Majority people who answered the question could not even understand what exactly is the bubble. You could help yourself little bit also, because at some level you had the knowing and understanding of that I can connect to the sixth plane, the law of tone, and I can to a sound can release it. But the other people, if they do the same thing of crying, it is increasing the trauma and not reducing, because they are not connected with the creator's energy. They are not using the technical knowledge there. So as much as you released it in perspective to one aspect of your life. And that one perspective of that aspect can be your current reality. Because our vision and our understanding is limited to what is happening to us in our present reality, and not what is happening to us across time and space.
Ma'am, healing the soul also I did with respect to this aspect. Like,
That
doesn't that
is not healing the soul. That is just simply any rip in the aura of the soul.
Hmm,
That is what you did.
okay.
But
Not
when we make the comments like I healed my soul, is very different than I healed my broken soul.
hmm. No, broken soul only I did. I did broken soul.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You just heal your broken soul energy, which is any rip in the auric field. You did that, but not what you did was that your soul has multiple impacts. When Buddha said I healed my soul, yes, he did. When Mahavira says that I healed my soul, yes, he did. But if others say that I healed my soul, no, they did not. There are multiple layers around it. So there are two aspects attached to that. And that answer is for the question one for everyone. Because multiple people, a lot of you said you felt you are in a bubble when it comes to your personal relationship. Majority were because of the financial issues that you were entangled. Majority put up at what frequency you are, but actually could not identify where is the bubble. I had explained you what exactly is the bubble. And I mean, it is fine, because unless and until that understanding has not come, it is very difficult to identify the bubble. The thing is that if we all can identify the bubble, then probably bubble all automatically will break. Because the minute I identify, the reason I asked you all to sit and identify is because so that you yourself will break the bubble. It doesn't happen because it happens at such a deep level of our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind itself is divided into two parts. One is the modern memory. You all operated from the modern memory, even if whoever could answer. The modern memory is in this lifetime what has happened to me. That's our modern memory. And then at the deepest level, we have the primitive mind. Our primitive mind has stored all past life memories and nothing from our present reality. And then between our conscious, our subconscious, our primitive, there is so much of a filter. So for that filter to bypass, you have to feel safe enough at a subconscious level, not at a conscious level. At a subconscious level, you feel safe. You will allow yourself to bypass the filter and go deeper. And then realize that, oh, this happened in the past. It is over. It is completed. I'm not part of this drama anymore. And it is a conscious choice I am making. Can I come out of my bubble? From there, if you shift it to, of course I can. Words are still the same. Can I and I can. You are just changing the placement of these two words in your life. Sanusha's question is, what can we do to identify the bubbles? How can I proceed with helping myself out further? This is the answer what I am giving, Anusha. Number one, to help yourself, like how to identify the answer to your first question. You are learning further, you have joined for graduation, you will learn with every further understanding and knowledge. Knowledge and wisdom are the keys to break any bubble. Knowledge of the know-how, wisdom comes from experience. Does each one have the wisdom? Yes, each one have the wisdom. But probably they don't have the knowledge to open that box, Pandora box of the wisdom that that soul has through different lifetimes. So it is there with you. For the normal layman to begin with, to identify the bubble, just ask yourself this question: whatever problem that you have written on the frequency of 6, 8, 9, 10. So all that different frequency of 5, I don't think anybody has written lesser than 5, except for Anna, who said, I write the gratitude diary and I'm fine. And I'm at a much better space now. But on an average, majority people had written that they were high on the frequency of minimum 5 to 6. To know when was it that the first time you felt in your life? Probably when you see that image, that this is what the first time I felt this pain. For example, if you have written your problem is money, your money being stuck. Now it is a choice that you are making. Like ideally ask, how does my money being stuck make me feel? And then, or somebody have written that it is a relationship. How being in an abusive relationship or how being in certain relationship make you feel? And then probably each one will filter it down to the same answer. And that answer is, I feel insecure. And now ask yourself this question: when was the first time I ever felt insecure in my life? And the first time, probably when you felt insecure in your life, is definitely not the situation what you are describing. It is a situation which has happened much before you develop the understanding, the logic of your brain, and you actually understood the meaning of the word insecurity. You did not feel insecure when you realize what the word security and insecurity is. How do you define it? You didn't even have your rule book of what security and insecurity is. Now I'm warning you all that get into it only and only when you know, after entering into that chakra view, how to come out of it. Because remembering those memories is invoking those memories. And it intensifies and becomes multiple times bigger. And that memory is different for everyone. I cannot do it on the public platform with everyone because that particular memory is very, very special and different for you. So what Pala may have felt insecure is different than what Saroji would have felt and will be different from what Anusha felt. So it is very, very different for each one. And the resolution is when your particular memory that you felt gets resolved. When I say resolution, I'm not saying cancelled. Get resolved because here you have identified what did you learn out of that situation. How is it that after so many years, still feeling insecure for 40, 50, 60, 70 years? Some of you, if you may regress back to the time, then hundreds of years or thousands of years. If you are still continue to feel insecure, how does that insecurity help you? What is the benefit that you are achieving out of your insecurity? And that is the greed or the ego section of your part. Probably, if that section of your part, you convert that into a gratitude. The minute I have gratitude, I release. I am with the same people because the same people are still feeding me. They still come and ask me when I'm sick, how are you? They still give me a glass of water. They still are providing money to me or comfort to me. They still give me a mental support, probably not emotional support, but mental support. Somebody is there at home for me. If something will happen to me, I am not alone. So they still taught me how to progress in life. They pushed me to get the best version of myself. They pushed me to learn. They pushed me to join daily theater. They pushed me to learn myself by spiritual learning. There will be many, many reasons. You will be amazed to know that there will be multiple reasons how they helped you. And the bubble breaks when you have genuinely the gratitude towards how it has helped you. At the same time, a clear understanding that I don't need it anymore. When I say I don't need it anymore, I don't mean I don't need those people anymore. What I mean by that is I don't need that negative behavior of that people anymore as a tool for me to progress and learn from them. And the minute that entire understanding comes, your next question that you ask yourself is, now that I don't need that behavior, imagine your life without that and imagine in the similar situation, how would you like to act differently? Because insecurity itself is an illusion as much as feeling secure is an illusion. I'm living itself is an illusion. Pain is an illusion. Giving power to that pain and may convert them into insecurity is the reality. Somebody took my money away from me, does not have the power to make me feel insecure. I give it power and I convert that into insecurity, which is being stuck to me. Somebody spoke rudely to me, in itself do not have power to make you feel helpless and stuck. I give it power, then now that makes me feel being stuck, misunderstood, unloved, unwanted. I created one bubble when probably I was 2 days old, 2 months old, 2 years old. Probably I was not even born when I was in my mother's womb. And after that, I went on creating more layers on that because that became my frequency. It became my frequency because that is a thought which is running in my mind all the time. That is what I strongly started believing, that people are bad. People betray me. People are not trustworthy. And I became my own problem now. They are not your problem. Get it clearly. You are your problem. It is your limiting belief which is your problem. It is not people's behavior which is your problem. It is the power that you give to people, what they act, is the problem. The power that you give is a choice you make. Frequency at which you choose to vibrate is a choice you make. So if you want to recognize negativity in the bubble that you are, you need to recognize at the level of your own limiting belief. Where have you created that bubble and where are you enhancing the bubble? Layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer. Every day, every hour, probably every minute. Imagine how thick it has become now. And then you clear one layer and you say, I did work on myself. Why do I still feel it? You cleared one layer. The bubble has become so thick. So as you will go on clearing each one, or probably the minute you identify and you resonate, see, mind understands and takes information through identification and association. If my mobile has to have the data, I have to feed it in. This is Anusha's number. Then my mobile will show when Anusha sends me a message that, oh, I received a message from Anusha. So it identifies and associates with it. Similarly, here also, I feed it in and I associate that number, identify that, oh, this is a negative thing, this is a positive, this is what I feel. So till if you actually change the association and identification of it, probably those thousands of layers of bubbles will get cleared in a second. And then change your association with same people, same situation. What happened to you in the past and what may happen to you in the future. The bubble is broken. Because now my mind associates that in a very positive manner. And what it can give me back is only positivity. And those multiple layers breaks. I don't know how many of you remember, because in one of my daily Theta session, I had given the story of this gentleman bought a packet of biscuit and sitting at the airport was eating and suddenly realizes that, the neighbor also is eating from his packet of biscuit. And in his mind, he thinks, how rude. If he's angry, he should have bought it or asked me, can I eat the biscuit from you? And he can travel in a plane. He can very well afford a biscuit for 50 rupees. It's not a big deal, but it's okay. We feel like it's okay. Like, why do I want to tell the person what the person will do? Max 2, 3 biscuits. Okay, it is fine. But you start building up the resentment within you. How rude he is. Like, is something wrong with the person? Without asking, is eating from my packet, and like, this is the height, and the last biscuit is there in the packet, which you are just about to take, and he picks up that biscuit and he eats it. And you are now angry. But the announcement is done, and you are like, shameless guy, have absolutely no shame attached to that. Your association with that person is he is useless. He is like, having absolutely no understanding. Some of you may abuse gadha hai gadha. Like, useless fellow, don't know what to tell him and all. And you are about to say कि जाते time पे सुना कर जाता हो, like, I'll tell him, like, if you wanted, you should have asked, oh, why can't you buy your own packet of biscuit? And you are that with rage and anger in that much time, so much, and you get up and your own biscuit comes out of your bag because you got up. And suddenly you realize that, oh, by mistake, I put my biscuit in my bag. And I forgot all about it because I was reading the book. This was open and I thought this was my packet of biscuit. I opened up and I was eating actually from his pack. And it was not that he was eating from my pack. Now, what is your association with the incident is still the same. Right? Two people sharing the biscuits from one packet. Incident has not changed. But the identification of that person, that identity that you created in your mind, how you associate that experience with a lot of regret, resentment, anger. You are sitting next to you in the flight and you have not expressed, or your packet did not come out. Imagine your rage and anger. You will spoil your entire flight, by why is this person sitting next to me? I want to tell him. I want to tell him. And that entire 3 hours, you are investing into that anger and rage. And probably when you go back home and you share with your wife or your husband, today I went through an experience which was unbelievable, and this happened. And your wife opens the bag and said, like, but you had one more biscuit packet, you could have given it to him. Oh my God, this was actually my biscuit. Or sometimes you have exaggerated it so much that now you feel bad to tell that, what, actually it wasn't him, it was me. And you now want to camouflage and hide it to your wife that, because now she will laugh and tell everyone that, he's so absent-minded, this is what he did, and he was telling me this. So you want to camouflage your mistake also. And probably you will continue saying the same story when in front of 10 people, your wife says, other day this happened. You are like, yeah, I was like this. Now in your eyes, the reflection is different. But you will make up this story nonetheless, because you can't prove yourself wrong to people now. That it was actually me. And the story continues. Imagine how many bubbles do we create. This is the life story of us. No one actually knows that biscuit is the packet of your karma and karmic imbalance. You do not know who is taking from whom. It was your association with it in that incident. Problem was not the packet of biscuit. Problem was not sharing it. Problem was what you believed in. Problem was your ego. If the same biscuit somebody in your car at the window, if they would have asked and you would have given from your packet 3 pieces also, you would have felt, I'm so kind, I can't see them in pain. It's satisfying your ego. Problem is not that you believe that you helped that beggar. The problem is you believe that you helped the beggar. You didn't help the beggar helped you to feel good. He gave you worthiness. I'm capable of. Your beggar made you feel that you are capable of giving 3 biscuits to someone. He made you realize that, he gave you a chance to feel good about it. The beggar is the giver. You are not the giver, boss. So problem is identification and association, which is being created in our mind, which is creating the bubble. Recognize that at a core level, that is recognizing negativity. And there are many, many layers associated with it. You need to be brave to do that, and you need to be consistent to do that. It's not going to happen overnight. It is not going to happen by just clearing 1 belief or 10 beliefs of yours. What you are clearing is when you download, you are giving a window to your subconscious mind. But it changes when you master that virtue. Your soul has come down here to master that virtue. It is an ongoing process. So the first and foremost thing, stop counting. I cleared my belief. Why did it come? You have lived for millions of years, boss. Millions of such beliefs. Millions, trillions, like you don't even know. I mean, there is no count attached to that. So many times that identification and association with one thing, identification and association, and there are multiple of them. Gradually, you're developing the thought process, Anusha, which is very quick, and you're aware of that. And that balancing the fact out, taking the accountability of my actions, yet operating out of surrender, yet taking the step to change it, being mindful of, being consistent with the change that I do, making myself to knock the door and say, Sangeeta, this is not fine. Where can you improve and where can you change? And then clearing those psychic hooks and psychic attacks, because they have reprogrammed me every day, whether I go to sleep, whether I'm awake, they are reprogramming me. The psychic hooks, psychic attacks. And to stop the blame and the shame game. SHAME, shame, BLAME, blame. Both of them ends with me. Blame. I do blah, 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 blah about others. When I'm putting blame to others, blah, 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 blah. They did this to me, da, 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 blah, 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 blah. When it is actually, it was me. The realization was, it was not that the blah, blah, which is, it is me, and me. And shame is again me, but I want to like move away, shut it, shed it away, go. I don't want to look at you. If I look at you, it takes away the confidence within me. Does this work? It does not. It's 9:38. I'm breaking my own rule of discipline. I didn't realize. Or as when I had started my journey, my teachers would say, you give any topic to Sangeeta, after me, if anyone can talk on any topic for hours, it is her. She can just continue talking. Or my husband makes fun of me many times. He says, God gave all of us a very beautiful body. If there's one mistake he made, there is no bone given in our tongue. You tell her she can speak non-stop. Guys, I don't intend to speak non-stop. What I intend is that you all, as part of my soul family, take that next step in your life and work towards it. Because I love you all, and I know that you all also love me. So that is what I really, really feel. And that's why probably I broke my own rule of self-discipline. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And looking forward to your next answer. Please write. There are 4 people which we didn't give entry today to enter, right? Take effort to speak, to write, gratitude. Do that. Take that step. And if you say, I didn't get time for it, it's not worth it. Cesta, for the first time, announced that class is cancelled. And if you guys do not take this step, Cesta will announce it very soon. And so that it doesn't happen, please make an effort to write, participate, be active, change. Yes, do that. Start your diary of gratitude. Please start your diary of gratitude towards it. Wherever you can vocally say gratitude, people who are staying with your family, somewhere, make it an effort to show that gratitude to them. Anusha has been doing that regularly. At least with Cesta, she does. She puts the comment on the YouTube, she puts it on the Google. Majority of you have not done that. Write the gratitude towards the daily theta on the Google. Let people know, because your gratitude is accepting that something changed. And that is the message which goes globally and karmically. Whoever benefits out of your gratitude, what you have written, that positive karma gets attached to you. And that allows you to clear your own bubble. But that step has to be taken. Go to the Google link, share, let people know that this is what I'm attending daily theta. This is the difference I felt. This is what I felt. Put it on the YouTube if you already have put it on the Google. When you start writing it more often, like honestly, when it becomes global, there, whoever benefits from you, wherever you have recommended, whoever have benefited, their change and the positivity, the blessings is being attached to you as well. So thank you all for joining. Love you all. See you all tomorrow if you are given the answer of the second question. See you. Bye.